Welcome, adventurers. Adventurers, I guess. That king looks bored as fuck. Rogue. Mage. Fighter. And cleric. That is the party I'm going to be utilizing today, because I'm also utilizing a guide. I'm utilizing a guide found on GameFAQs.com or GameFAQs.com, and this one is the walkthrough by the Spelunker. Now, we don't really have a load game in progress. I just wanted to show you the opening, but I do have some characters prepared already, because it's kind of boring to sit there and watch me click reroll over and over and over, because it's just randomly generated stats. However, we will look at the characters themselves. But like I was saying, we're using a walkthrough by a user by the name of the Spelunker from GameFAQs, and this is, let's see here, he posted this back in August of 2005. So we've got an introduction, but I'm going to go ahead and skip his introduction because we've seen the story. He talks about the races and the classes, and kind of getting started. The other thing he doesn't really mention is how combat works, so we might be finding that out the hard way. However, we'll read his getting started section. You'll need to create a party before you begin. While I feel it's best to strike a good balance, you're advised to do whatever seems fun to you. Good advice. For the purpose of this walkthrough, though, I'll be choosing the standard Advanced Dungeons & Dragons party. Human Cleric, Elf Mage, Dwarf Warrior, and Halfling Thief. Ours is slightly different. For one, they're all ladies. And two, the races are just a little bit different, I believe, but it might be the same way. I have an Elf Mage, I have a Dwarf Cleric. No, I did that right. Elf Mage, Dwarf Cleric, Halfling Thief, and a Human Fighter. Let's see here. Their alignments don't really matter according to this guide, so just pick whatever. Make sure to reroll for good stats because it will play a vital role in how well your characters perform. So essentially that's what I did for a little while there. Click, 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 reroll, reroll, reroll. Party formation. The two characters at the top of the screen are the people in the front of the, or in the front row. They will take, where'd it go? Lost my place. They will take the brunt of the damage, but are also the only ones able to attack with melee weapons. This makes fighting characters ideal for the front and casters ideal for the back. For the purposes of this walkthrough, our thief and fighter are in the front, and the cleric and mage are in the back. So this is so that the mage can cast safely. Sorry, it's a little further away from me, so my eyes are trying to adjust. I'm wearing glasses that are old prescriptions as well. So the mage can cast safely and launch daggers from the rear, while the cleric can keep the party in good health and cast beneficial spells on them. Characters can be swapped by clicking on their names, so that's good to know. By clicking on the icon, this is camping, one can access the camp menu. That's once we're within the game. Here, characters can memorize spells, mage version, petition for spells, the cleric version, rest, scribe scrolls, and change in-game options. Everything in here is true to AD&D rules, except maybe the game options, and such players are given a number of spells they can memorize or petition for at once, based on what level the spells are. Resting will restore health, learn spells, and during this period the clerics can assist with healing. Scribing scrolls is simply how one learns new spells. Interesting. There are three types of ranged attacks. Bow, sling, and thrown. A bow is wielded in the hand, and its ammunition and arrows are loaded into the quiver pictured on the inventory screen in the upper right with the numbers in it. Sling utilizes stones only, and these stones can be held in both the opposite hand and the belt pouch, which is the three spaces aligned vertically on the right with the inventory screen. Thrown weapons operate the same way, except you don't need to equip a weapon to launch them. just put them in the hand and belt pouch. They also don't need to be a certain type. Useful. All right, so let's just kind of jump in. I don't want to spend the entire time looking at the guide, but I am curious. I wanted to have it there because I've tried playing this before and it's a little overwhelming. So, we begin facing the rock slide that trapped us in, as we saw, and our adventure begins. Ladies and gentlemen, adventurers, I am the Rambling Bard. My name is Gregory Odinson, and we're going to put the rock in Strix's pack. These vertical. So the crotch. All right, Strix. Put rocks in your crotch for your sling, I guess. You don't have a sling yet. What is this? Food? Iron rations. Okay. Dagger. I got a robe. Okay. Spellbook. Good, good. Rocks can't go in the quiver, can they? Nope. Can't put that out in there. Okay. So, here's her character sheet. Strix, for those of you familiar with the Waffle Crew and Critical Role, this is an homage to Holly's character, who is usually... Holly likes to play tieflings, but her character, the tiefling sorcerer, we'll say Strix was our... is her name. I spelled it with a Y because I put my own spin on all of the names because I'm silly. That's really the only reason to it. So yeah, that's Strix's character sheet. Now we're going to look at Jade's character sheet. Her name's Jade, short for Jadis, or Jade, but it's for a couple of reasons. My wife had a character named Jade, and then I had a friend named Jade, or a character named Jadis, and I have a friend named Jade who is quite the fighter, and so this character's kind of for her. Letter of mark taken. Can I actually, like, inspect it? I don't know. Commission and letter of mark, sorry. More iron rations, got a sword there. Sorry, let's look at Jade's rations, or Jade's character sheet. She's got 18-15 strength, which is really good for AD&D. It's the step above 18. If I remember correctly, you then have 1850, 1875, and 18 double aught. Why they chose to do that, I'm not sure. Exactly what the mathematics are on that, I'm not sure. Sarah, if you're here and are able to chat, she could probably fill us in a little bit better. Sarah is one of my biggest patrons, and she is actually the reason I do most of my other D&D streams. We're gonna... This music is intense. What do you think? Let's see. So that's Jade. We'll finish looking at our characters here. What is that? Lockpicks. Okay, that's good to know. Sarah's actually, like I said, Sarah's the reason for all of my other D&D games, but Sarah started out playing AD&D, and so she knows it way better. Right, so this is Beatrix, named after one of my other biggest patrons, Deus Jess. She has a character named Beatrix LeBeau that is actually the starring character of Slime Rancher, and created by her husband, or by her husband, kind of for her, if I understand correctly. I'm not exactly sure of the story on that. She'll have to tell us at some point. But Beatrix is I thought was a cute name for the halfling thief. She is armed with a short sword. I believe our fighter is armed with a short sword as well. Yes. Okay. And boots. And leather armor. Okay. Same with our rogue. She's got some lockpicks. Good to know. Da-da-dum. Da-da-dum. And here's Evelyn. It is named after Anna Prosser Robinson's character, Evelyn, from also from the Waffle Crew. She's a big inspiration for me because she's a bright and sunny personality, and she does so much for Twitch. And for the Twitch gaming and creative communities and stuff like that. I just think it's really neat how much she pours herself into everything. And so, much like Holly, much like Beatrix, much like Jade, much like Sarah herself, I look up to all of these ladies a lot, which is why I chose an all-lady crew. Don't like it? Fight me. Find another channel to watch. Okay, so we don't need to look at that anymore. So let's hit the camp button so we can maybe turn the music off. What do you think about that? That's it? Wow. Okay. 2 of 2 remaining. So we are going to prepare Magic Missile for herself. Oh, nice. She does. She also has Melf's Acid Arrow. Good to know. And we're going to petition. Let's see, what all does she have? She didn't have any 3rd level spells yet. I like the idea of hold person and slow person as well as aid, though I don't know exactly what that does. And we're gonna do just... how about one detect magic? We need to get Evelyn an axe. Oh, I guess I could have made it a paladin, not a cleric. That's right, I was going with the guide. Well, that's okay. I wanted a real cleric. No offense, Evelyn, but I wanted a cleric for this game because this game is unforgiving, if I remember correctly. Can I scribe scrolls? You don't have any scrolls to be scribed. Okay. Preferences. Oh, here we go. Ha 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 ha! Yay! No more chung, 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 chung. Ew, I spit. The Candid Bard. Alright, adventurers, well, I think that about does it for the intro for this game. If you'd like to see the rest of what I did during the live stream, feel free to click on this card that'll pop up here shortly to take you on to the rest of the about 2.5 hours of gameplay that I did on the rest of that stream. Please follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheRambling_Bard. Check out my Patreon if you enjoy this kind of content, would like to see more of it, patreon.com/TheRambling_Bard. For just $1 a month, you get all of my stuff that I release early, as well as a 10% discount on everything that I make and sell. That's pretty neat. Is there anything else I need to say? Like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube shit. And remember, adventurers, choose love. Chung, 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 chung.